King for a day. Was asked to do some more XTC. This is a really good one. Um, Doing it a little different. Gonna kind of simplify it a little bit for acoustic guitar. The original key of the song is B flat, so I'm putting a capo at 1, and we're gonna do this song in A. And I'm also gonna change the chord voicings. So on the original recording, you'll hear the chords sound a bit different, but this is I don't want to say an easy acoustic version, it's just an easier way of doing it that works really well on an acoustic guitar. So if anybody doesn't, like the way I've done this and you want me to do it like the original, let me know, and I'll be happy to do a subsequent version. Sorry, I'm a little sick, guys, so apologize for my voice, but here we go with King for a Day. So we got pretty good. It sounds good. It doesn't sound exact, but I think it sounds really good. So we've got an A sus4 to an F sharp minor to a G to an A6. Now, an A6, you just add that note on the bottom. So the 6th is the F sharp in the key of A. So you just play an A chord, but you're playing 5 strings all the way down from the open A. That gives you an A6. Could also play the G as a bar. Alright, I prefer this one in this particular context. Alright, let's just listen to that again. Really nice. We've also got that little riff that starts out the song. And it's got some kind of weird effect on it, like an envelope filter or something. But now remember, guys, we're capoing here. So we'll just look at it as if it wasn't the capo. It's the 5th fret on the G string. And just go up 7th to 8th fret. Right, so in the key of A, you could, that fits in the key of A, starts on an F sharp, right? So you have to move everything by a fret. And then go down a 4th to the 5th fret on the D string, and then go up a minor 3rd, and then down to, and then up a 3rd. That's all it is. So on the G string 5, 7, 8, on the D string 5, 8, then to 7 on the G. So if we listen to that. All right, I just threw that in as a kind of a curiosity. I don't think you'll really need that riff in this one, but what the hell. So let's listen to what happens in the verse. Okay, so just the same chords over and over and over again until we get to the verse. All right, we'll stop it there. So there's 4 sequences of chords, four chord sequences, and it's just the same as the intro here, with some small exceptions. We have the A sus4, F sharp minor, but instead of having a G, we have a G over A. So you make a G chord, but you want to put your index finger right on the third fret here of the B and E strings. Bring your ring finger up here to what's the 6th fret on the guitar, right? 4th fret and 6th fret, but from the capo, 3 and 5. So there's our A on top of a G. Now you can also just kind of mute the top E string and then just play the open A here. I prefer the sound of it like this. You gotta be careful to make sure those notes ring on the bottom. Okay? And then an A6. So the first 2 times you go. Now the third time. The second chord is a B minor 7, and the third chord is a G. All right, so that's a nice little harmonic shift there to play the 2-7 minor there, 2 minor 7 chord, as opposed to the 6 minor, right? And then the fourth time through is just the same. All right, so that's it for the first part of the verse, and now we're gonna kick it over here to the second half of the verse. All right, and we have a G major 7, and you may have seen me playing it intentionally different a couple of ways. So you can play it like that or like that. So make a G chord and then just put your index finger on the F sharp note here, remove your pinky, or take away your ring finger and just have an open B. So that way or that way, either one of those is fine. So a G major 7, and then you want to do a G over an A6. So there's that same A6 chord we did in the first part of the verse and the intro, and we're just going to have a G on top of that. Okay, and then we're going to have an F sharp minor to a B minor 7, and that's going to be the first 2 times. The third time around, it goes to G major 7 to A, F minor 7, B minor 7. All right, so we get rid of the 6 and we get rid of the G. For the A, I don't want the high E in that chord, so I'm just playing it kind of as so I'm muting the high string. All right. The last time, there's a nice little run of chords where it says, "The loudest mouth will hail the newfound way." That's the end of the vocal part before we have "To Be King for a Day." So that goes from G major 7, A, and then we have a fun one here, a G major 9 over B. So that is now, so the root G is not in the chord. We're playing the third for the root, okay? So we have a B. Now a major 9 means that it's a major 7th chord with the 9th in the chord. So what we've got in this chord is we have the B, we have the root, we have the, well, I guess the root is in here. We do have the root, but not as the bass note. There's our G. Under that, we have an A right there. Then we have the D, which is the 5th. So the A is the 9th, right? And then up at the top, right up here, we have the F sharp. The chord chart will be up on the screen for you here. So it sounds like that. Beautiful sounding chord. Okay. So we have the loudest mouth will hail the, and then we have a first inversion A chord, which is going to be A with a C sharp bass. And again, don't want that high E in the chord, so I just have an A with a G sharp on top, or C sharp, pardon me. Okay, and the last chord is a G sharp 4. Whoops! Oh goodness gracious! There we go. So that, to make it, just make a regular G chord, but take away your ring finger and put your index finger on the C sharp right there. Right. So a regular G sus4 would sound like that, but making it a sharp 4 gives it that kind of Lydian sound, right? So all together, the lotus mouth will hang the newfound way. Right? And that's the progression. Now, right after it says the word way, there's a little lick that goes. Can you just listen for that? Right here. Right there. And that is just a partial G sus2 chord. So a sus2 chord is like a bar, except that you have this note of the chord open. So like there's a B sus2. So all the way up here we'd have a G sus2. Well, if you can get it, it's hard. There. So it's just a partial G sus2 chord. All right. So yeah, that's really the whole verse chorus paradigm, and it just repeats from there. So that is it. The verse chorus repeats, and it's exactly the same. So what does change is, get myself sorted out here. What does change is that at the end of the second verse, we go to a bridge, and we have some chords to talk about there. So let's scoot forward a bit. I'll try to get this right. All right, so here's the end of the second verse. Okay, now listen. Right here, I think. All right, so let's listen to that one more time. Okay, so we have the same A, not an A sus4, but an A, F sharp, and then the odd chords come in. We have an E minor 7, which I'm doing in a specific voicing. So it's an E minor with the D and the G on the bottom here. Okay, and then we go to an E major chord, but we have an F sharp in the bass. So here you can play like this, where it's like a, yeah. So you have to take these three fingers here and put them all on the second fret from the E, A, and D string down, and then put your finger on the G sharp as if you're making a regular E chord, all right? So, or you can do it this way and mute the B string by just making an E chord like this, and then adding that ninth, but it's a ninth, yeah, but adding the F sharp on top, right? Second or the ninth. It sounds better, I think, like that, but I'm not going to argue with you about it, so let's listen to that one more time. All right. So, and yeah, that's really all there is to say about it. So, or whichever way you want. It's easier to do it like that. Okay. So then we go to the bridge, and let's listen to that really quick. Okay, so real simple in the bridge. We are in B minor here for the bridge. So that's our minor 2 minor 7 chord. And then we go to the, so So if we consider this a key change to B minor, we go from a minor 1, actually let's think about this a little differently. We go to the minor 1 in B minor here, we go to a major 5 chord, which in this case is a sus 4, 7 sus 4 chord. So F sharp major, take away your pinky and your middle finger, and just put your pinky on the 4th fret of the G string, excuse me. So that's an F sharp 7 sus 4 chord. And then you're going to go down to an F sharp 7, and then back up to the sus 4, and then back to the 7. So you get real simple, okay? So again, if we look at this as a B minor root, major 5 chord, kind of harmonic minor sound, that's what a harmonic minor progression would be, a minor 1 to a major 5. But that's not what they're thinking here. They're just thinking tension here. So B minor 7, F7 sus 4, sorry, F sharp 7 sus 4 to F sharp 7, back again twice. And then back to the G major 7 up in the regular course of the chords. So that's really it for the whole song. It just repeats out from there. So that's King for a Day. Chord chart, as always, is in the link below with all the chords and the chord chart, you know, everything's in there. And again, if you don't like this and you want me to do like a more straight ahead version on the electric, the way they did it, let me know. I'll be glad to do that. But I thought it'd be fun to give you a bit of an easier way of doing it. The chords are tougher on the recorded version. And I'll be honest with you, I like the way this sounds better. I know that's a heresy, but you know, opinions are what they are. So guys, thanks a million. Apologies for my voice. Merry Christmas and God bless. See you later.